about to leave. Already packing, come with me. I'm not.
Hello friends and enemies, welcome back to Happy For Now. It's me Isabel here with some fall romance recommendations, non-romance recs, and my fall TBR because like it's not here yet, but I feel like there's a TikTok where it's like, can you smell it? It's fat girl fall, and I feel that in my heart and soul. Because it's still nice 86 degrees here, but I will be cosplaying fall in my home for the foreseeable future, and we're okay with that. That's just a fact of living in the South. Sometimes you say it's fine, it's hot out, but I'm still gonna wear the fall stuff, hence my sweater today. But I'm really excited, so I will have timestamps for y'all down below if you want to skip around any specific portion of this video, because I realize that like not everyone's gonna want like my non-romance recs, etc. But let's jump right into it with my romance recs. These are all short, delightful novellas that I think you should check out this fall. First up, we have Halloween Boo by Sarah Spade, which has a new cover I realized today when I was grabbing the cover for this video. And it is so cute. This is a Hocus Pocus fanfiction with our main character called Danny even. Danny moves into an apartment and it's haunted, and a ghost man appears who's super hunky on All Hallows Eve, and we just go from there, and it's just absolutely delightful. I don't want to give too much away because again this is very short, but I do think it's just one of those fun Halloween reads that you walk away from going, I'm really glad I read this. It was fun, it was a good time, it was not a waste of time like certain Halloween reads I've read before. The other one I've got for you is Mating the Huntress by Talia Hibbert. I feel like this is one that gets ignored a lot in Talia Hibbert's backlist, and I don't love it as much as her other books by any means, but I think it's a really solid exploration of the paranormal romance genre. And it's a quick novella about a family that hunts werewolves, and one of their children ends up mated to a werewolf and he hunts her down, and like she works at a coffee shop bakery thing, and it's just, they have some hilarious interactions, to be honest. So for that alone, I recommend reading it. Again, just go in with slightly maybe lowered expectations from maybe the Brown sisters or other Talia books you've read, because this is not going to be exactly like that. Then I have a sapphic rec, which is The Masked Minotaur by Chase of Verity. This is a really hard one to explain without spoiling, but basically there is someone going around the town committing crimes, specifically targeting businesses associated with people who might be shifters or otherworldly of some kind, and the town has like shut out those people. And then there's someone who's a minotaur that is masked, going around and helping fight the person committing the crimes. And our main character is a candy shop owner, and definitely misses the otherworldly people that visited before, and her shop gets broken into. She ends up there when it happens, and the masked minotaur shows up, and romance ensues, and there's a lot of great reveals, and it's just a really cute, solid, short sapphic novel. The other one is also Chase Verity, that if you haven't read by now, that I have racked so many times, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why you haven't read it yet. That's The Deal with the Demon. This is the Demon House Husband book. This is so fun. It is a perfect October read, like absolutely a perfect October read that I just think you can't go wrong giving this a pick up. So this follows a single mom of 2 kids who signs an agreement without reading it and then a demon shows up and says, you can do with me what you will, and you have me for like 28 days or something. And she's like, will you watch my kids? And he like ends up wearing an apron and baking cinnamon rolls and taking care of her kids so she can start this daytime hours job and stop working nights. And it is so precious and so cute that I'm not joking. You are missing out if you've not checked this book out. So be sure to pick that up. All right, let's talk about my non-romance fall recs. So this is going to be horror and thrillers. These are really, it's mostly horror. Be sure you check the content warnings on all of these before diving into them. If you have any questions about the content warnings, feel free to reach out to me. I did not grab them in my notes, and it's a lot. For some of these do involve animal death. I can tell you that 2 of my 3 recs do involve animal death. So I'm gonna tell you that right now, but we're gonna dive right into them. First of all, I have Bunny by Mona Awad. This is the weirdest horror book I've ever read. I am a horror baby. I've talked about it before on my channel. I have like an interest in reading more horror, but I'm not there yet. Like I'm still a little too timid, but like I still like dip my toe in and like read 1 or 2 a year, and I'm like, I liked this, and then I like run away. which is all valid. So yeah, Bunny by Mona Awad follows a girl who joins a sorority situation in the school that she's at, where they all call each other Bunny. They're actually making sacrifices to create something, and it's just this like monstrous horror that happens and unfolds, and it's just really weird. Like, I have left very few books going, holy crap, that was so weird, as much as I did with this. Like, it really left Bunny when I finished it going, what on earth is going on? In like a good way though. Like, I actually really enjoyed it, and I would be curious to see what else Mona Awad writes. Slash like check out other books she has out. I don't know, I've never really looked, but I'm like curious now. The next book is The Only Good Indians, which also has animal death in it. This is by Stephen Graham Jones, and this follows these native men who killed an elk, and it's come back to haunt them kind of. And it's just, again, another one that's just really weird, and I basically like couldn't put the book down, but I was also terrified. So I feel like that's kind of what you're looking for when you read a horror situation. So proceed with caution. Definitely check the content warnings on this one. And, you know, just go along for the ride, because it's quite a ride. And everyone I know who is Indigenous has commented on how much this book meant to them as like for horror, and that it has like a lot of really good reps. So I do appreciate that fact of it. I don't know enough obviously to comment on that, but it's one that I just can't see not reading more from Stephen Graham Jones now, because that's how good it was. The last book is a thriller, and it is YA. It's older YA for sure. And that is The Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Boulley. I read this year and was blown away by how good it was. 1, for a debut, 2, for a YA thriller. So she actually watches her best friend get murdered and ends up helping the FBI solve the murder. It revolves a lot around the UP of Michigan, the Upers. And I used to live in Michigan, and I did not live in the UP. I lived in the Hands. But it was really fun to see how hockey was incorporated into their life so heavily. And there is a sexual assault on page, kind of like, it doesn't completely happen on page, but it like starts. And some like really awful things, and she has to like learn who she can trust, our main character, and who she can't, and find out some hard truths about people that she probably didn't want to know, kind of, at the end of the day, let's be honest, but also just are the reality of it. And it was so good, so good. I loved this YA thriller, and I cannot wait to see what else Angeline writes. So now for my fall TBR. I've got 4 romances and 4 non-romances, I think. I don't know, one of them I'm not sure if it's a romance or not, but I don't know a ton because I do go into my books with like minimal knowledge. But I'm hoping to finish all of these by November. Like, honestly, I'm kind of hoping to read them all between now and like the end of October, but we'll see. First up, we have Headless by Avita Weiss, which is currently winning in my members poll for our October book pick. And this is like a 15-page erotic short story about Sleepy Hollow and the Headless Horseman. So like, of course I'm gonna read it. Like, it just has to happen. It's so short, it's just a mandatory on this TBR. The other one is The Witch's Wolves by Ellie Mae McGregor. This is a polyamorous witch romance with shifters, and I really liked the Santa's Naughty List or whatever that she came out with last winter. That was such a fun debut that I'm really curious to see what she has in store for us with book 2. And I especially love witches. We all know this. I love witches in books, so I was immediately like, yes please. The other one is I Married a Naga by Regine Abel. This is the second book in the series that started with I Married a Lizard Man. I don't love snakes, but I still want to read this and give it a try. I might end up DNFing it. I don't know yet. Everyone I know that's read it, I think, liked it more than a Lizard Man though, so we will see. We will see how that goes. The last one is Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue. I started this and I put it back because I was like, this is a perfect October book. Like, just, you need to wait. So it is back on my October shelf, and I'm definitely starting it in October. And this is a demon romance. He's like owned by this family, and he's supposed to sacrifice this girl, and they get married. And I know that it's supposed to be pretty wild. So I'm excited to dive in. I know it's a dark romance also. I'm pretty prepared for it, but I would definitely check content warnings on that one because I think there's a lot going on. Next, for my non-romance TBR, I've just got 4 books here as well. I'm trying to keep this simple. First we have For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. This is a academia thriller, I think. I really liked My Lovely Wife, and I still need to read her other one, For Your Own Good, but I'm really excited to, and I think that this will be just a fun academia thriller situation to read this fall. The next is My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. I know nothing about this. I know that everyone either hated or loved it. It actually has like it has a lower rating than The Only Good Indians does on Goodreads, which is interesting, and I've seen people say that like it's very polarizing, but I haven't like followed up any more than that because I want to go in with like fresh, no other opinions in my brain yet, and I'm just really curious to see what I think. I like this cover a lot. I think it's a really interesting minimalist cover. We'll see. The other one is The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. This is one that's all over TikTok. It's on the Barnes & Noble TikTok tables. All I know is it's LGBT QIAP+, and I know that it features like a library and they're protecting it. I have no clue if there's actually romance in this or not, which is why it's in my non-romance pile. And I really like the cover, so I figured I would give it a try. The last one is The Taking of Jake Livingston by Ryan Douglas. This is a debut, I believe, this year, and it is a horror YA book. I really love this cover, first of all, which is part of the reason I want to read it. Everyone I know that's read it liked it. Like, I don't think I've seen anyone rate it under a 4-star. I haven't looked that hard though, but anyone that I know personally so far has liked it. So I think I can handle it, and I think it just sounds like an interesting one to try out this October. So that is my TBR for the fall. Let me know if you have any books you're prioritizing this fall. And if you don't want to do that, you can leave me a fall leaf emoji in the comments, because y'all, we are gonna pretend it is cold here for as long as we can. For as long as we can. We're just gonna embrace it and we're gonna lean in. It's fine. If you need links to anything, all the books will be linked in that description box, as well as links to Me My Friend anywhere on the internet, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions. We'll get away.